Hello, hello.
Good evening, everyone.
Welcome to Throwing Bombs. This is Ricky Rod, podcast about football.
This is Gage Gwynn.
From a fan perspective. We're top 100 in Antigua.
65.
Boom. I think we may have actually
right.
gone up.
Oh, really?
I think.
What?
I don't know. Thank you.
You know, I told people, because I posted about that on Facebook, and they're like, wow. And then they're like, where is it from? And I was like, Antigua. And they're like, where the crap is...
Yeah, I have no clue.
I was like, hey,
I still can't figure that out.
it's fine, because all those people, I mean, they have a population of like 80,000, I think.
There you go.
So, like...
I think it's actually charting from more islands than that is what I think it is.
Hey, that's
whatever
fine by
iTunes
me.
gets that information from. I have no clue. That's insane.
Hey, I'm so glad it's there, and we appreciate everyone who's listening, regardless of where you're from.
I think it's so random and funny. That's
Yeah,
the funny part.
It's great.
So, anyway, this is a podcast, NFL fan podcast from a fan perspective, where we love to make fun of the media and some of the stupid things we see. And let me tell you, this week I've seen the best of the stupidity.
Oh, man. First off, let's go ahead and cover the one game that was played this week, the Pro Bowl.
Are we considering that a game?
I mean,
Gage? It looked like tag football.
Wasn't last year's pretty good, though?
Yeah.
This year's was just kind of like a lopsided.
Well, the weather was bad.
Oh,
number one.
Yeah, they're thinking about moving it from Orlando this coming year.
Yeah, the weather was bad. Of course, Mahomes goes out there, wins the MVP.
Underhand throw.
Yeah, he did some crazy stuff, and NFC threw Kamara in there on the D line.
Yep, they threw a receiver out there on like cornerback,
Evans.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I like them doing that. Like,
yeah, when
that doesn't bother me.
Do whatever.
Yeah, that I think if I were a kid, I would have loved that as a kid watching that game. You know,
right?
And it's basically a two-handed tag game now. Like all they got to basically do is just stop momentum, not really tackle the player.
Right.
And they just blow the whistle. And you just don't want anybody hurt.
I mean, because like we harken back to like the Brian Moorman getting laid out by Sean Taylor.
That's
Remember
bad.
That?
And then Edwards, who was a running back from the Patriots years ago, they did like this kind of games at the beach thing, and he tore everything in his knee.
Oh, my gosh.
Like he barely made it back. Like,
wow.
He may have played like... I think he did play, but they just let him play just to say he made it back. Robert Edwards was his name, I think. He was an incredible like rookie running back.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So you just don't want that's the worst fear, you know. But those guys get paid, right? The winning team gets a little extra more money than the losing team, you know, and you know, they have all sorts of shenanigans, and you can bring your families, and it's near Disney, you know. It's not all that bad.
Right.
Not all that bad to be down there. So, but now the game was underwhelming. AFC blew the NFC out.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think the Super Bowl is going to be like that, but, you know. But, hey. So, but the interesting thing this week, though, Gage, I think, they're still, you know, I think I made a mistake last week. I said the Dolphins were the only team without a quarterback, or without a coach, man, without a quarterback, but without a coach. It was not necessarily true because the Bengals are the other team that don't have a coach yet. And both are waiting on these Super Bowl teams to finish the Super Bowl. So I think the Bengals are going after Zach Taylor, I think, which is a quarterback's coach, or the offensive coach for the Rams, and then the Dolphins are going to go get Brian Flores, which is currently the defensive coordinator for the Patriots. So basically, if anybody pays attention to anything in the NFL news, Sirius NFL Radio, or NFL Network, all it is now is just press.
Oh, yeah.
It's entire, like it looks like a circus there in Atlanta. That's where the Super Bowl's at. And they basically have players go from station to station and talk to all the media, and you know they do these huge introductions. I mean, it's a fan. You know, fans have to pay for that. By the way, Gage, did you see how many fans were there? It was packed.
Oh, I know.
It was insane. The NFL makes money off of press. It's crazy. So, and on top of that, did you see the satellite video shot of Gillette Stadium when the Patriots did their farewell to Boston? Did you see that?
No.
40,000 people.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, there's 40.
That's crazy.
Yeah, there was 40,000 people in their stadium. That's Tom Brady did the whole drop the mic thing there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
speaking of Tom Brady, can we talk about that Nickel Roby Coleman dude who?
Yeah, I mean,
just real quick. He talked trash.
It's the stereotypical defensive player that this happens every year. Where
I know
where a player goes, hey, he calls out the quarterback for being old. I saw it on YouTube today that Fox News asked him about it. He's like, "Hey, I was misquoted," and I'm like, "Well, that's a pretty hard quote."
That's a very hard misquote.
So he called him an old man, right?
He called him the old man and called the Patriots like what? Said they just like weren't crap or something like that. I mean, that is the last thing you do to the Patriots.
Maybe he needs that to play against the greatest of all time, right?
But here's the thing, he pretty much almost costed the Rams the game.
Yeah.
If the Saints had actually got the call. So
okay.
Why are you talking?
Okay, so this is the same player, right?
Yep, same player who
caused nothing. It was just a no call.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So, the no call with
we are 10 days currently past that play as of today. I think 9 or 10 days.
Yep.
The NFL has said nothing.
They just fined him for the helmet to helmet.
So what we're talking about is the no call, the famous no call the Saints had in the Super Bowl. Not in the Super Bowl, the NFC Championship game. Of course, everybody lost their mind in that city. And, they had to move the refs because of death threats and all that stuff. But the bottom line is the NFL has said nothing official regarding the play. They fined the player for the hit. I think he got fined, $25,000?
Yeah.
So he got fined for that. Also, word on the street was that Goodell reached out to the owner of the Saints, reached out to Sean Payton, and apologized to them, supposedly. Right? Head of officiating did the same thing, supposedly. Right. Nothing's official because the NFL has done nothing. So I'm not a conspiracy theorist. However, I think for them to wait this long, I think they're investigating the referees in the game. Because 4 of them...
Yeah, I was about to say, all 4, right?
Yeah.
From SoCal.
Yes.
They're
from
crazy.
Southern California. So, I mean, I'm not a conspiracy theorist guy, but the NFL has said nothing for 10 days, and maybe they're just trying to avoid taking press away from the Super Bowl, right? Like, they don't want to have any stinks before the Super Bowl, even though it's going to be impossible, to avoid that. However, the fact that the NFL has said nothing, and I keep on seeing reports every day referring to this play, that it's gotten a lot deeper than just, okay, this was a bad no call. I think they're investigating it more, Gage. And I'll tell you why. The one main reason is that the gambling situation. We have gambling's illegal now, or legal in New York.
Yep.
It's been legal in Las Vegas, but
it's like 7 states now, I think, that's legal.
Yes, and the NFL has started to allow that. You know what I'm saying? They've loosened the rules on that. And when you have... The core of this game is based on the rules, the refereeing, right? The NFL has turned over half of their referees in the past 2 years.
That's crazy.
Right? And then we complain about the officiating, I'm pretty sure almost over half of the episodes of this football season on this podcast. Did we not?
Yep.
Remember how bad it was in the first month, right?
Oh, I know.
And then it was like magically they started holding, it was like they told the refs, hey, back off on these calls, right?
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't even play some of these games. It was so bad, right? You had Mike Tomlin getting fined. You had a lot of people, a lot of issues, right?
Right.
At the core of this game is the officiating and the rules. If they cannot protect that, then the integrity of the game is done, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's for gambling. That's for everything. So when you have a fan base, there's an entire fan base in New Orleans, in Louisiana. They're not going to watch the Super Bowl,
No.
right?
No.
Okay, and we can bring that up right now. Do you even think this year's Super Bowl is going to reach the numbers that it's reached in the past 5 years, like as far as viewers?
You
don't
you
think so.
have a team that people think should not be there, and then you have a team that people hate.
Yeah, and it is just not. I think I did read something interesting today that the president last year did not. Typically they do a little interview, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's easy way for the president to do some press and talk about whatever. Obama used to do it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Trump declined last year, claiming, he was upset about, the whole national anthem crap. Well, this year, because of all the drama with our country, he's doing it this year. He's doing the interview. Okay, so I guess he's deemed that the NFL and its millions of people that watch that sport. By the way, let me remind you, even the crappy Pro Bowl gets higher ratings than most NBA playoff games.
Wow.
Just so you know. And I'm talking like championship game.
Yeah. Just
remember, that's how high the viewership still is on the NFL. Like, it's higher than pretty much anything else, even Pro Bowl, which is doo-doo, right? Yeah. So our president is going to be saying something, whatever. I have a feeling has something to do with the wall. I don't know. But he's going to be doing his thing, spreading his propaganda. But the bottom line is this Super Bowl is going to be boring. I don't expect the ratings to be great. I do expect the game to be pretty solid. I was looking at. I've been watching all the press conferences. Did you see Gronk dancing? Yes. Gronk's funny, dude. I'm sorry, Gronk. That dude, he is a funny knucklehead.
Oh yeah.
I can't help but like him. I was listening to Tom Brady do the Sirius NFL radio show today. He was on. You know what? He has mastered the art of talking to the press. He's so much better than his coach. He's just much better than his coach, and he's very diplomatic, talking about the whole thing with his age, and But there were video clips 2 weeks ago, of in the Chiefs game, Julian Edelman, right? He calls him Jules. I mean, he was sitting there screaming at him so much. How about that, old man? Right, like on the bench, like there's all these little video clips coming up, so they obviously, they're obviously owning that. But I mean, do you honestly think, like, what do you think about this game as far as like the interest level? I just don't.
It's like the lowest in a long time.
It's boring, man. Right?
Like I said, you have a team that shouldn't be there and a team that no one likes. So no one wants to watch teams that they don't give a crap about.
No.
I mean,
I just think the Patriots are old news at this point.
Yeah, and then the Rams, I mean, they're the Rams.
It's just their market doesn't even really care about them. It's a basketball town, and I will say this, again, watching all the press, and watching how the Patriots handle it and that whole mess, and nothing spectacular. Belichick doesn't ever say anything. He says the same thing every year. Same crap, same thing. They did ask him who the best player was he's ever coached, because the person who, I think it was Fox Sports, asked him this, right? And you know what his answer was?
What?
Lawrence Taylor, LT. He said LT, all 13 years he was in the league, dominated at the highest level. And they were like, well, what about Tom Brady? He goes, Tom's a great quarterback. He's won us a lot of games. That's all he said.
Wow. Man.
I was like, like,
all that drama still sits there.
Yes, it does. And I was, Rich Eisen, Rich Eisen's still my favorite thing about the NFL Network, but he has his own podcast and show, right? Mm-hmm. And he had, God, I can't remember that dude. It's the dude that calls all the Patriots games. He was a backup quarterback scrub. I can't remember. But he's a complete apologist for the Patriots. Patriots do nothing wrong. He protects the Patriot shield, right?
Yeah.
So Rich Eisen's talking to him, and Rich Eisen reminded him, said, "Listen, last year Tom Brady didn't go to OTAs, right? Only quarterback in the league to not do that,
Yep.
right? For the first time in his career, no OTAs, none of that, And Bob Kraft got those guys together and said, all right, put the egos aside.
Let's just win games.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I also want to remind our audience and remind you, Gage, that Belichick traded Garoppolo for a second-round pick.
Yeah, I know.
He developed Garoppolo. They invested in Garoppolo. They could have easily got a first round for Garoppolo.
It was just like a frustration trade.
He gave him away just to piss people off,
Yep.
man. Right? Let's not forget that. Okay?
Oh,
This
I
was
know.
less than a year ago. All right? And let's not forget the final biggest point. Malcolm Butler. He pulls Malcolm Butler from the Super Bowl for no reason.
Yep.
Zero. Belichick never gave a reason to Tom Brady. He never gave a reason to his team. Didn't tell the press why. Didn't tell Malcolm Butler.
Yep.
Right? He had the most defensive snaps of anybody on that
And he didn't
defensive
play.
team.
Yep.
And did not play in the Super Bowl. All these rumors came out. He was partying, all this stuff. And then he had to post. He said, hey, I did none of this. I followed all the rules. This is all made up. And Tom Brady liked that post.
Yep.
Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Belichick had a conversation with Bob Kraft, the owner of the team, and explained to him what he did? I hope he did.
Wow. Yeah, I would hope so.
Because I think it costed him the game. And I think he sabotaged the season.
I'd be a pissed off owner if you bench our top cornerback that's playing lights out and doesn't play the Super Bowl, and then like you get torched by Alshon Jeffrey the entire game.
I just want to point out that the Patriots had a very drama-filled season last year.
And
right?
this year, kind of.
And this year, too. Yeah, this year, too. It's not all roses. And I'm going to say something very positive about Tom Brady, okay?
Whoa.
Yeah, I cannot not
you
do
already
it anymore.
recognize him as the best quarterback
Yeah,
to
he
ever
is.
play.
You can't argue that.
No,
okay.
no.
But I'm starting to get a sense that he is the better man between the coach and the player.
I
think he's a better man than Belichick.
I've always kind of felt that.
Because I honestly think Belichick tried to trade him last year, wanted to trade him last year. I think Brady knew that.
Yep.
I think Brady went to the ownership and blocked it. That's what I think. And I don't think Belichick, he claims his teams are built on trust and loyalty.
You think that's why he traded Jimmy G for so low?
Yeah. He did it to sabotage his own franchise.
Tried to trade Tom, didn't work. Tom goes up and complains, so he's like, okay.
Fine, we'll give him away.
Yep.
John Lynch, this is a famous story. John Lynch
The
called...
GM.
the GM
Bucks.
for the 49ers.
Or 49ers, sorry. He used to play for the Bucks.
Yeah.
Yes.
He called Belichick at the beginning of that year and asked about Tom.
Oh.
And Belichick laughed at him. That's funny. And then randomly, Belichick calls, says, hey, give me a 2 for Garoppolo. They said they could not respond fast enough.
Wow.
Think about that. So, I've said this. I'm gonna say this now. Okay, they're bringing the Patriot way to the Dolphins, right? Brian Flores is going to be our coach, and they're already saying, the insiders are already saying, we are going to suck next season. We are going to be horribly bad, right? The Patriot way does not work without a Tom Brady level quarterback.
No.
Period. 0, zip. You cannot do, their payroll, their cap space, the Patriots cap space, they're forced to spend money, right?
Oh, wow.
Because they spend so little. Yes. The NFL has rules where teams have to spend a certain amount of money. Like there's a rule. You've got to pay your players.
Right.
Okay. They're always one of those ones they're never near the salary cap. They're not even close. Tom Brady is barely a top 15 paid quarterback in the league. Barely. He did not reach incentives this year. You know that?
Really?
No. He didn't make his incentives. Right? I think there were, I don't know how many, couple of million in incentives. He statistically did not reach them.
Huh.
Yeah. So, because they redid his contract. That's one thing. They redid his contract when he came back from the no OTA thing.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure Tannehill made more than him last year. Just want to throw that out.
Oh.
So
Rick,
what?
the question of the year.
I hate Belichick. What?
Who's winning the Super Bowl?
Oh, who's going to win the Super Bowl?
Who do you want to win first, and then who's going to win?
Well, ever heard of 0.0? Because that's the percentage that Tom Brady said he's going to retire. Regardless of the Super
know.
Bowl.
Gah.
So it doesn't matter. I was thinking, oh God,
if he wins, he retires. We're good.
he's done. Yes, that was my hope. And then he goes 0.0%. Like I am not going to retire.
Well, go Rams.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. I was thinking, Tom, I was pulling for you there for about a week, and then you go say 0.0. But of course, he's not going to say that. He doesn't want to say that to the team.
Well, no.
Going into the Super Bowl, that may change. I don't know. I don't understand. Like, I think I think Peyton Manning played past his peak.
Yeah, that last Super Bowl.
Right,
but he still. Talk about that.
But he did, right? And I think.
Oh yeah.
I think it's hard for these guys to quit, and we've said this probably for the last 2 months that Tom Brady, even at 80%, is still better than pretty much every quarterback in the league.
I think.
Except this year, we're starting to see a crop of quarterbacks that are better.
Yep. Tom Brady is the one quarterback who will know when to retire, though.
And, dude, Jared Goff, you may disagree with me, but his personality is very dry.
Yes.
Right? He's not a hype quarterback.
It's pretty boring.
He's very boring. Boring in press conferences. Oh, my God. Watched one today. He is like...
Yeah, I just made some passes.
He's just a super white guy, clean cut. He's just not very controversial. Just
like Joe Flacco, kind of.
That's what I was gonna say. Does he have a Flacco cold as ice moment in this game?
No,
because he starts off cold. He started off cold in the NFC Championship game.
He didn't really heat up though.
Yeah, he did.
A little bit, but not like what he did the first half of the season.
He made 4 throws in that second half that were monster throws. I mean, he made 4 really big throws in that game.
Overall, in the past...
at the end of the season, he didn't play
the past 6 games, he has not played like he has promoted himself to be playing.
Well, he didn't. He doesn't promote.
Well, you know what I mean. Like his caliber of play.
He had 30+ touchdowns this season.
I know.
I mean
But I have a statistic for you. His QBR. I had this pulled up for like 20 minutes. His QBR
for what
from week 1 to 9 was a 77.
Yeah, it's
dropped 22 points.
Yes, for
the rest of the season and until now.
Yes.
He has not played that great.
No, but you can credit that to multiple things because Todd Gurley was an MVP candidate for over half of the season.
Oh, I know.
And then fell off when he got injured. Literally fell off a cliff. Like he played awful in that game 2 weeks ago. Todd Gurley let his team down, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay, so but Goff they still managed to win that game, and it showed me a lot. So you've got a kid that's never been to the Super Bowl, who's got that Flacco kind of cold as ice thing going on. I really like Wade Phillips as the defensive coordinator in this game.
I think they'll play good defense.
Did you see what Wade Phillips did? He wore his dad's jacket off of the plane. Like, that gave me chill bumps. Okay, for people that don't know, Wade Phillips' dad was the, I think, Houston Oilers. They were the Houston Oilers at the time. Phillips was his name. He was famous because back then they would let NFL coaches basically wear whatever they wanted on the sidelines. he would wear like a long trench coat and a cowboy hat. He would coach games with a cowboy hat on, right? He was famous for Earl. Wait. Who was his running back? Wasn't Morris. Man, he was huge.
You're not talking about Campbell.
Oh, okay, Earl Campbell.
Yeah.
Monster, huge running back, right? And they played, basically the defense that he had back then is the same defense that Wade Phillips runs now.
Oh.
It's the same system. He's done very little to change the system. It's just the system works. He just fills it in with certain players, right? Now, Wade Phillips was with the Broncos with their last Super Bowl win. That defense won the game. It wasn't Peyton Manning.
No, Peyton Manning looked awful the entire year, including that game.
But that game, Wade Phillips arguably coached his best game, right, for that Super Bowl. And now Wade Phillips is coaching for the Rams. I knew when he went to the Rams, I was like, watch out. I was thinking, man, watch out. This team's they're going to be pretty solid. And sure enough, look where they're at. Now, of course, listen, Sean McVay is awesome. I've really watched a lot of videos with him, but Wade Phillips is going to be a big difference in this game, Gage. Like, they're going to get to Tom. Like, Tom, it's not going to be like the Chiefs where they basically went one-on-one, D-line versus O-line.
Yeah.
Wade Phillips isn't going to do that. They're going to do some different things.
Right.
I think they're going to try to confuse Tom. Tom's arguably the smartest quarterback to ever play the game. I think they're going to try their best to disguise. I don't think they're going to commit to any coverages till after he snaps the ball.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to happen. And they're just going to try to get Sue and Donald to just, Patriots are going to run the ball. They're going to try to run that ball, double team Donald, right? It's going to be an interesting game, but I do think I'm going to pull for the Rams.
But
no, I'm going to go with the Rams.
Oh, okay.
I think the Rams are going to do it. I think, because, dude, last year was a great game. It's going to be a different style game.
Yeah.
Patriots are totally different style offense than they were last year.
I really don't give a crap who wins. I don't like either team.
Yeah.
But I think the Patriots will win barely.
It's going to be a good game.
I just think Tom Brady's just going to outplay Jared Goff in every way, and it'll be the deciding factor.
If there's a year that you remember that Atlanta Falcons game where just everything went wrong for the Patriots and then they just fought back
at half. Yep.
Yeah. I think this game could become like that, except they can't come back. Like, I really do feel that way. Like, I feel it could get out of hand.
If the Rams play like they played the first 10 weeks of the season, then they'll demolish them, yeah.
I will say that McVay will adjust faster.
Yep.
Offensively, they will adjust faster to whatever the defense the Patriots do. The Patriots' defense is a bend but don't break. They're not that, like, statistically, they're actually sort of horrible.
Oh, yeah.
They just use their corners are so good. They've got great corners, is what they use.
You got the McCourty brothers and Stephon
their
Gilmore.
Corners, their corners are so good that once you get into the red zone, you're in trouble. That's how they play defense, and they're going to take out your best weapon.
Yeah.
Like, which is who do you think they take out for the Rams? Because Gurley sucked. Like, Gurley was awful. Who do you decide to take out?
Probably like Sammy Watkins, I would say.
Yeah, I would pick out whoever.
Him or Robert Woods.
Well, what's his name? Cooks.
Oh, I forgot about Brandon Cooks.
I think Brandon
Cooks. I don't
Cooks.
know, man, because Cooks is good, but they can't forget about Sammy Watkins, man, because he is a deep threat.
See, I think Sammy Watkins is not their main weapon.
Well, he's not, but he had the most receiving yards last week.
That's because they took out Cooks.
Yeah.
And I think the Patriots are going to do the same thing, is what I think they're going to try to do.
I'm just saying, if they try and contain Cooks, Sammy Watkins is going to have a big game.
Like, for example, the Patriots just doubled Tyreek Hill. The whole
He
Chiefs
only had one catch. I mean, it was for 41 yards.
They literally doubled him the entire game.
That was a good plan.
And it was great plan, but, I mean, Mahomes still found he would have scored if he would have gotten that overtime flip. I mean, so it wasn't like they were perfect. They just, they just really got lucky with the coin flip. But I do want to see who they decide to take out on this Rams game Rams team, because McVay as a coach will adjust faster. He's gonna, man, and he's not afraid to control the ball on the ground, which is very different than Andy Reid. This is not going to be like this Chiefs offense that does all the smoke and mirrors. And I mean, really, the Rams, they just do the same thing out of the same formation. They'll do multiple things out of the same formation and try to make you guess what they're doing. So very similar to the Patriots, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true. I have another statistic here. Because the article I found, because Jared Goff, I was just scrolling down ESPN trying to see articles, and one of them was, Jared Goff needs to play better. And I clicked on it. I was like, what is this going to tell me? It has the last 26 quarterbacks to play in the Super Bowl since 2006. Their QBRs ranked through the playoffs up to the Super Bowl. Can you tell me who is in last place?
Is it Goff?
No.
What do you mean? QBRs going into the Super Bowl?
Like the playoffs up until like from first round to
I don't know.
Championship.
Of the last couple of quarterbacks?
2006 to now, the worst.
The worst QBs.
Yep.
I remember who played. Matt Ryan was hot that year they went.
Yeah, he's second on this list.
Was it 49ers guy? Was it Cap?
Cap was first, actually.
Yeah, because he ran the ball all the time.
He had a 94 QBR.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know who was in last?
Who?
Rex Grossman.
Rex Grossman's son.
And then it was Russell Wilson and Peyton Manning.
Yeah, Russell's early years he wasn't that great, but he did. I mean, but they were a run first team, right?
Right. And then Jared Goff is 20th out of 26.
I know, man, but dude, I'm telling you.
And Brady is number 6.
Like, the Saints defense was no joke in that game, right?
Right, yeah.
They're no joke. And their game plan was to force Goff to have to make those plays, and he made those plays. So I really am wondering, is Goff going to be like Eli Manning? Like, I mean, to this day, Belichick never beat Eli in a Super Bowl. Couldn't.
Yep.
Just couldn't do it. That's the one thing I love about Eli. He always beat the Patriots. He always beat Brady. Always beat Belichick. So I really hope they do it, man. It's going to be a close game. I just think statistically the Rams just had a better season. They played the big teams really well when they had to. You can argue, if Goff obviously statistically hasn't done great and they've still managed to win those games, that's impressive, right?
Yeah.
So,
well, didn't they lose like 3 of the
couple in a row there at the end?
At the end, yeah.
It was. They rebounded there at the end, going into the playoffs. But the last month of the year when Gurley got hurt,
that was rough.
And once they got C.J. Anderson and they started running the ball, things got fixed quick, right? So, but Gurley, Gurley played awful in that Saints game.
Yeah.
He just caused a pick. Had all those drops. He only had 1 touchdown, but his rushing was awful. He must be super injured, and they're just not saying. So,
right.
But no, I'm pulling for the Rams. I can't pull for Tom Brady. It's not in my heart to do it. But
it was if he was retiring.
Oh my God, I'd be his biggest fan. I'd be his biggest fan. But I honestly, I'm not saying this because I'm a Dolphins fan. I'm not saying because he's the reason that all my coaches have been fired in the last 10, 15 years he's played. I realized a couple of years back how special he was. As, like watching him play Peyton Manning and at those last couple of years. And I realized without Peyton Manning in the league was going to struggle without that kind of dynamic, right?
Right.
Now with Mahomes coming, right? You got Deshaun Watson. You got those young cats in the Pro Bowl, those young cat quarterbacks. All of a sudden, Tom Brady really does look old, man. He does. And he did look old this year. They can say whatever they want. He's performing great, but he does look slow compared to the new modern quarterbacks. Right. He just does. By the way, as a side note, I read today Kyler Murray, 2 mock drafts going to the Dolphins.
Really?
No way. Ain't happening. This year's Dolphins.
They're not going to draft a QB yet.
No.
They want that low pick or high pick.
Yes. This year's Dolphins, they're going to go interior, D-line, O-line. Xavier Howard's going to get traded. Our best player's going to get traded. Promise you. They will not pay him. He wants top pay. He won't get it. They're going to trade him. They're going to strip that team. So we're not going to be competitive against the Patriots next year. I don't expect to be. But back to my whole Tom Brady thing here. I'm sick of him winning so much, but come on, man, right? Like,
appreciate what you have before it's gone.
Yeah, I am. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy watching him play quarterback, and it's really, dude. You know how silly those statistics are going to look when they post them Sunday of his stats compared to Goff's stats?
Oh yeah, of course.
Super Bowl appearances. Super Bowl wins.
It was like that when they played
playoff appearances,
Philly.
Playoff wins. Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah.
It was funny. Then Foles gets the win. That's what made that game so huge. People talked about that game for a month.
But the difference is, man, like...
I mean, people still talk about
Philly was... I mean, their star quarterback went down after having an MVP season. Yeah. Like, he would have won the MVP if he played the whole year.
Yes, he would have.
He tore his ACL, and then Nick Foles got in there and was playing lights out, and everyone's like, man, we want to see this team who's never won a championship in this era, right?
Yeah.
Like, they've won championships, but they haven't won the Super Bowl.
No.
So we want to see them win, and they did.
Philly.
It's not the same this year, though.
Remember, all those people downtown Philly went nuts.
Oh my gosh, I know.
And
it was like the best thing in the world.
It was, with all the controversy going on in the NFL, that was the kind of game the NFL needed.
And that was like, man, because we went to like a little Super Bowl get together, and it was me and a couple friends, and we all were cheering for the Eagles.
Oh, it was an incredible
And it was wonderful to all of us celebrate.
Mind. When he fumbled, I was so happy.
Oh, I know.
On that play. That was really the only defensive play of the game that was made.
That was a terrible defensive game, man. Like 1,000 yards given up.
It was but it was very entertaining, and I don't think this year's games could be even close to that.
No.
Could be totally wrong, but I just don't see it.
Guys, just, advice from us, just get with some friends, because, if it's boring, at least you have friends there.
And enjoy whatever random crap commercials they're going to show.
I know, I'm going to hang out with Casey.
Whatever weird crap. I think I talked to my wife, and I think we're just going to low-key it, because the last couple of weeks it's been just really busy for our families. But
Casey was like, hey, why don't we do like a live cast of us watching Super Bowl? I was like, that would be like 4 hours long, Casey.
No way. I can't do it. I am going to veg out. I'm literally going to order wings from my favorite place.
Dude, we got something planned, though, and I can't tell you what it is.
Okay. All right.
I can pretty much say we're going to have Dayton and Casey come back on. It's going to be a pretty long episode next week. We're bringing stuff to like a little celebration thing, and just don't eat.
Okay.
Or eat a little bit, but
that's fine.
Be prepared for some fun stuff.
That's fine. But we're... the game, I think the game's, numbers wise, I think viewership will be down.
Yep.
For the Super Bowl.
No one wants to watch the halftime show either.
No. Did you see the press conference? Not press conference. They sent out a press sheet. NFL did. Basically, almost like, hey guys, Maroon 5 was basically the best we could do this year. Because, dude, remember the year Prince played?
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Prince played a press conference like that week. Yep. Like he came out and did a mini show for the press conference.
Yep.
Like full show. And this year they're like, okay guys, here's a one paragraph thing on why we chose Maroon 5 and Travis Scott.
I just want to see like the Maroon 5 Girls Like You song, but instead of Cardi B, it's Travis Scott.
You know what? I have nothing against Maroon 5.
They're
personally.
Pretty bland.
They're fine.
It's fine.
But it's basically, if you go on social media, it's so funny to listen to people, to read people's comments and critique. And, that's really where I get the fun stuff, because people do post some pretty brutal things.
Dude.
And then you've got the noob, the filthy casual football fans that just, don't. They don't they can't comprehend what they're watching. It's just fun to sort of read that stuff and giggle when I see the stupidity of it. But
speaking of,
if you're a filthy casual, I'm apologizing to you, because I'm not calling you stupid. Just,
watch your post sometimes.
Go ahead and believe that your 4-string quarterback's better than Cam Newton. Okay,
Anyways,
go ahead.
I went on Instagram today, and there was like a Bleacher Report post saying that the Patriots are supporting Josh Gordon and paying for his drug rehab. And then Josh Gordon in the comments was like, this is news to me.
Are you serious?
Yeah, let me go find it.
Oh my god. That is
Man,
great.
It made me laugh so hard. I was like, what in the world? Let me see.
That's awesome. I love that.
Oh, he removed his comment.
Did he?
Dang it! I knew I should have screenshotted it.
Maybe
but
they're
he was like,
news to me.
Let me try and Google it real quick, because man, that was so.
I bet you somebody
funny.
screenshot that. So, dude, that is so funny. That is so funny. If he really did that, that is incredible. That is incredible. But anyway, what can you do? It's the NFL. We'll have more. I think there'll be a bombshell news report before the Super Bowl. There always is. Something stupid will happen. Somebody get arrested. Something will come out. Tom and Bill had a knockdown, drag out fight about something, So, but hey, okay,
I found it. Sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
The Patriots are paying for Josh Gordon's drug treatment and a return to the team. A return to the team in the future is possible, and Gordon will get a ring if the Patriots win a Super Bowl. And he gets that like emoji where he's like kind of looking all hazy. He's like, sure, we'll just go with that, LOL.
Yeah, he's not gonna get a ring. He's not even on the team.
It's fine.
It's not even on the team. I mean, they could do that. Like, I've heard of that, by the way. Like, practice squad players and stuff. Some teams don't have to do that, and, some teams fly down the entire organization to celebrate. Some teams, are, like, pickier about it. So, but anyway, sad news. I did read that the Skins, obviously, are not expecting Alex Smith.
Oh, at all, yeah.
And now there's a rumor they're looking at trading for Tannehill.
What?
Yeah. You know what? I'll be honest with you. For that West Coast system, the dink and dunk that they do, he actually fits that system. The problem is it's a stupid salary.
Yeah,
if they trade him, they're going to have to redo his salary.
Yeah, but they can't pick up anyone, man. They really can't.
I've told you this before, but the NFL salary, the NFL, that salary cap is a joke.
Oh, I know.
Any NFL team can make room. They can do it.
I talked
literally. Boop.
I talked to Casey and Dayton, and they both kind of think that they should just let Colt McCoy play next year and just see what happens. And, they didn't really refer to tanking, but if you have Colt McCoy as your quarterback through the whole year, that kind of sounds like tanking.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, but, there's a Dolphins reporter, Armando Seguro, who keeps on doing hashtag tank for Tua.
Oh,
for the Dolphins.
Gosh.
But he's right. Like, every insider he's talked to, everybody he's talked to, they've all said basically the same thing. The Dolphins aren't going to win games. I told my dad that. My dad's like, no, they're going to go try to win games. I'm like, Dad.
4 wins.
Dad, no way. Like, they can say whatever they want, but it's going to be an ugly year.
If they purge their team, then you can say goodbye to like 4 wins.
Oh, they will. And what's going to happen is, this whole Patriots way thing, I get it. Built the culture that way. Doesn't work without a QB, man.
Right.
Doesn't work.
They're just trying to kickstart that by, getting a high pick.
I've said this. I feel like I say this all the time, but I would make my team draft a quarterback every year until we found that guy.
Mm-hmm.
I just would do it. But anyway, so who are you picking? You picking the Rams? Or you picking the Patriots? You picked the Patriots, right?
I picked the Patriots to win, but I don't really give a crap who wins.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm at this point where like I don't.
Listen,
You know.
I'm just looking forward to whatever cool Marvel movie trailers they're going to show. Like, we're going to see a cool Marvel movie trailer, right? I did finish Phase 3 of all the Marvel movies, or I finished it this week. Yep. It was an incredible journey. I rewatched all those movies.
Speaking of like commercials, apparently an ad got banned from the
Saw that the marijuana
ad, but then they have like 8 advertisements of Anheuser-Busch or whatever the
Yeah, did you see Joe Montana like invested big time into one of those companies? But I find it funny. The NFL, the entity of the NFL, is the most poorly run multi-billion-dollar industry business in the world. Like, this isn't like Apple. Okay, Apple, oh my God, they, you can say whatever you want about Apple, but they post profit. It's insane.
Yeah.
What they're doing. But this NFL, this Roger Goodell, man, I just don't know what he's trying to do. I don't know what they're trying to do, man. I honestly don't. I don't think they'll ever get hurt by these minor leagues, the XFL and whatever. It will be interesting. I think if anything, they will buy one of those leagues. So they can train. Well, dude, they got to train referees. They got to train referees, and they need to train players.
First off, that and like the NBA has the G League,
yes,
where it is a perfect development tool.
They need remember
like
NFL Europe?
Yeah,
I mean, you got Kurt Warner.
Perfect.
You had Burnell. You had all these players go through that.
Warner was pretty much the one notable that everyone was like, Kurt Warner.
yeah, but there was a bunch. There were a bunch of players that came through it.
Yeah.
And especially going back to this referee thing, right? If you're not going to make your referees full time, right? I don't know how you would make it full time with a season, whatever. But if you're gonna sacrifice the integrity of the game, you better come up with a plan to train these people.
Yeah, really.
Because the blown call, the biggest error of that call of all was that they're supposed to group together. Like the main refs are supposed to get together.
I know.
And you'll see it happen all the time. They'll group together for 10 seconds and you'll see them. Did you see? Boom, 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 boom. They'll go through the whole call. They'll make sure to get like all the same feedback, and then they make the call. Right?
That didn't happen.
No, it did not happen. It did not happen. And now the NFL is having to answer how that particular team got put together.
Hey, we had money on the game. It's cool.
Wouldn't
that be crazy?
I still think the funniest thing I've seen happen was in the Patriots game when Bill Belichick took his tablet and just slung it.
Yeah,
like he just sit there and they ran a rub route is what they did. They ran a pick route, which the Patriots do all the time, by the way. They do the same thing, but they missed the call and he just tosses that thing. So really, the most interesting thing maybe to watch in the Super Bowl will be the refs. How the NFL chooses to referee this game.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, man.
Typically they don't call a lot of stuff.
Any bad call they make, they'll get lambasted.
Scrutinized. It's going to be major. And the best thing about the game is going to be Tony Romo.
Is he really?
Yes,
that is the best.
It.
Absolute. Because he's riding the hot streak right now. Did you hear what
Wade Phillips said about him?
No.
They said, Wade, what's your plan to stop Tom Brady? He goes, well, I think I'm going to have an earpiece to Tony Romo's office. So he's calling out them plays.
I mean, he really is.
I thought that was great. And he's right. Yeah, love him or hate him. I think he's found his groove. I think Tony Romo's found what he's supposed to be doing.
Someone said Tony Romo is boring as a commentator. I was like, have you lost your mind? Would you like to listen to
he gets excited. Like, he really gets excited about calling out those plays. So, but hey, let's go ahead and wrap this up. This could be a little bit shorter of an episode. Next week will be a longer episode. Obviously,
we got the 2 guests.
And we'll wrap up. We'll wrap up the Super Bowl. I expect the Browns and the Dolphins to announce their coaching hires pretty much midnight after the Super Bowl, right?
With the Browns?
Not the Browns, the Bengals.
I was like, excuse
me.
me.
The Bengals haven't announced, it's going to be, they're going after that Zach Taylor guy. And, of course, the Dolphins are going to get the defensive coordinator from the Patriots. So, we'll still have a lot of coaching maneuvers happening. The Dolphins promoted like 6 people today in the front office. They hired a few coaches. They let a few people go.
Harbaugh got an extension. Woo!
Saw that.
4 years, baby.
Yeah, saw that. Man, that's going to be an interesting quarterback situation to watch next year, don't you think?
I'm excited.
Well, I mean, you should be.
You
should be. Arguably the hottest young quarterback in the league. Him and Mayfield.
We have a crazy good defense, and our offense is getting kinks worked out. We might have a really good year.
Yeah, I really, they're going to be working on it with him next year.
Side note,
for this season.
I was looking at that real quick. I was looking at that QBR thing. Sam Darnold and Josh Allen and Baker all had at least a 20-point QBR up. I think Sam Darnold had his first 10 weeks.
He was awful.
His first 9 weeks was like a 30. He finished with like a 75.
Yeah, he came back. Most of the young guys, except for the Cardinals
except
guy.
for Josh Rosen.
Yeah.
What do you expect when your entire line hasn't played but like 10 games together?
So, they brought in Adam Gase because of Sam Darnold, and Adam Gase is statistically going to call plays that's going to help his quarterback. So you're going to see Sam Darnold be better next season. I don't know how much better they're going to be. But, I did hear an interesting stat in the past few days about how quarterbacks are allowed to be shorter and more athletic.
Yep.
Yeah. Like I've heard that the traditional 6'4", 6'3" guy doesn't really exist anymore. Like you don't really need that guy
anymore. He's just
anymore.
kind of like painfully mediocre normally.
Yeah, and
it's not prototypical size.
Of course, Russell Wilson has proven to be an incredible quarterback.
And you got Wilson and Drew Brees, like those shorter guys.
Baker Mayfield is not that tall. Baker Mayfield's not that tall.
He's 6 feet even, I think.
Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. Okay, Kyler Murray, maybe he'll have a chance for the Dolphins, but I just don't see the Dolphins making that move this year. Whoever gets them, I think they're going to get themselves possibly a great quarterback.
Yep.
You never know.
Yep.
So, the class of Deshaun Watson,
You see that post where...
those 3 quarterbacks. Look
at us
Mahomes,
now.
It was Mahomes,
Trubisky.
Watson, and Trubisky.
Yep.
And, all 3 really played well for their teams this year.
Yep.
And they consider them a weak class.
Not anymore.
No. And it's a crapshoot, man. It's a
crapshoot. You never know.
But anyway, everybody have a good week. If you would, visit bombhousepodcast.com. We are on Facebook. Welcome to the Bombhouse Podcast. We are excited about the Super Bowl. Woo!
Yeah,
Not really. We're going to... I hope we have something interesting to talk about the game, but there's always going to be news, and obviously we'll have guests next week. But everybody, thank you so much for listening. We do appreciate it. Be safe.
Yeah, as I say, stay safe Sunday.
Yeah, don't be doing none of this drinking and driving, none of this crazy stuff. Stay at home or whatever you're doing, wherever you're going, just behave. It's my excuse to just be lazy and enjoy the game and scream at the TV.
Yep.
I think it's the only game my wife mildly pays attention to of the year.
That's cool.
She just doesn't really, to her, she just wants to hang out, have some wings with me, and she'll watch this game. And my son watches it. My daughter sort of cares about it, not really, So, but they know that I care about it, so they care,
Right.
But anyway, what's your plan? You're just going to hang with the dudes?
I think I'm going to hang out with Casey.
Chill out.
Maybe a couple others, yeah.
Dope. Well, I'll be texting you through the game.
Oh, yeah. We'll recount these messages.
And I promise you, there'll be some kind of crazy report between now and the Super Bowl.
Or during the Super Bowl.
There'll be some crazy. Adam Schefter's going to be like,
Dustin coming, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, Tom Brady knocked up another supermodel. Did you know he has a baby mama, right?
What?
Did you? Yeah, he does. His first kid was
Giselle?
No, it was another model.
Like, where you at, Giselle?
It was another model.
Oh, sorry.
Gazelle was the one he married.
Oh,
but he was a baby mama. He has a baby mama with another supermodel. People forget that.
Are you surprised?
No,
it's like
Tom Brady.
It's like Jimmy G.
Yeah, yeah. He needs to stop that crap, bro. You need to stop that. Hey, you see those pictures of Sean McVay clubbing after wins, right?
I know.
Like, he's surrounded by hot chicks.
He's 33.
Dude, he's in L.A. living the life. You know,
really.
He's gonna end up on TMZ.
He has players.
Some crazy crap.
He has players that are older than he is.
Oh yeah. Hey, off the subject, but we'll end the podcast with this. C.J. Anderson was being interviewed.
He's like, I know I'm fat,
and he
fat.
Yeah,
whatever you call me.
He went from the Broncos to like 2-3 different
the Raiders
teams.
to the Panthers.
Yes,
to
and then
Rams.
Yes, and he wouldn't say anything negative about those teams. He liked all those teams.
Right? Yeah.
But he said when he got to the Rams, he told Sean McVay that he reminded him of Gruden. He was like, and he said Sean McVay was like, don't say that. People have said that to me already. Don't say that. So apparently, Sean McVay reminded him of Gruden. Like, he said he liked Gruden, by the way.
I would hope
said,
so.
Yeah,
you are on the team.
Yeah, but he said that Gruden was really cool to him. It's just that they had some injury situations and they had to, get him replaced. But and he said positive stuff about the Panthers. He said, hey, Christian McCaffrey had like an amazing season, and you cannot deny that. You know what I'm saying? So, but he was really cool about it. So, dude, he's the reason they salvaged that season for the Rams, in my opinion. C.J. Anderson.
Oh yeah.
So, I think we'll see a lot of him, chubby man, running the ball. Anyway, have a good week. Have a safe week. Enjoy this really boring Super Bowl. 0.0% chance Tom Brady retires. Sad about it. Rip the dream.
Shout out Antigua.
Yep.
From border to border, but know that this Carolina to the death. I need a session from Bomb House. Heard him say it under breath. Christian dudes with a mean swag, but we walk around like this Jericho. Laying down that adios and no smoking in my studio. Sound coming through the stereo. How you feeling shook? Vertigo. All of this confidence, dripping finesse, hitting notes and falsetto. We love tacos, so let Ricky do his thing pronto. Finish the session today, he gon' hit you with the mix tomorrow. Produce, record, mix, master it. Sounding so dope that it gets your passion lit. Hit after hit after hit after hit, hit after hit, lickety split.